You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for. That's Hillary Clinton, the sore loser, on CNN last night. Think about that. What is she saying? Well, she's projecting. They always do the inverse. Just like the creator of Minecraft has come out and said, look, liberals are now inherently the party of evil, twisted, lying scum that hate you, that hate humanity, that hate the normal biological order of the universe. It's Wednesday, October 10th, 2018. We're now only 27 days out from the midterms. And yes, Hurricane Michael is slamming in to the Florida Panhandle as we speak at 140 miles an hour. They're calling it the Hellstorm. So notice the media hyped up the hurricane a month ago that they thought would be totally devastating, and it was bad, but not as devastating as they thought. And then now, out of nowhere, comes Hurricane Michael, and it looks like it is going to be a hellstorm. So let's pray for everybody. Obviously, they're in the Panhandle, everybody in Louisiana, Mississippi especially, and other areas of the Deep South. But here's the deal. We've been dealing with natural storms on this planet since God created us. And they come and they go. And it's just part of life on this planet. But the cycle we're going through politically is the real issue. We've hit rock bottom. And we have our own corrupt elites allied with the communist Chinese and others in an attempt to try to totally take control of civilization and society. And with just 27 days out, we have reports flooding in that are on Infowars.com with a whole string of critical reports that are absolutely critical that people check out. And the biggest one is Trump on Dems. Their whole campaign is to resist. Ours is to create. These are not good people, folks. Now, that's an important headline from Information Liberation, excellent website, informationliberation.com. But the article's really about the left launching vicious, violent attacks all over the United States. We're going to look at some of these when we come back from break. You have got in blue-controlled areas like San Francisco, like Portland, Oregon, like Seattle, Washington, like Austin, Texas, like Los Angeles, California, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Chicago, Illinois. The left literally shooting police officers in the back of the head, burning Trump supporters' vehicles, vandalizing everyday Republican candidate headquarters, shooting members of Congress, doxing their families, sending them beheading videos, breaking Rand Paul's ribs, puncturing his lung. So much violence, I can't even keep track of it. And then we've got Hillary Clinton, and we're going to play a clip of this when we come back, saying that, oh, there's no place for civil discourse, because you've got all the Republicans and us and others saying, let's have civil discourse, let's not have violence. And you've got Hillary Clinton and others saying, oh no, until we win the midterms, we're not going to be civil. Well, we know they're going to get worse if they do win the midterms. This is an authoritarian push. And then you've got people like the editor of Raw Story. When Congressman Scalise, who was shot in the hospital months, almost died, shattered a whole bunch of his bones, organs, he's a tough cookie. You know, survived combat in Iraq, but almost got killed here. And the scumbag coming to shoot him was trying to kill all 17 Republicans that were conservative. That was his plan. But thank God the leftists couldn't shoot very well. And so you see the Raw Story editor celebrating and saying, boo-hoo, you deserve this. This is a responsive defense against you. You can go read his tweets. I'm paraphrasing him. And then other people defended that, and Twitter leaves that up. Just like the professors that say, kill Gorsuch, cut his testicles off, or kill Kavanaugh. This is the type of insanity we're dealing with. And it's only intensifying. And they're going to get more violent if they win the midterms. They're going to get more violent if they lose the midterms. They are now truly a domestic terror organization, just as Homeland Security listed them as that a year and a half ago. But we have to get on the ball and deal with this, because when you look at the white trash scum that makes up Antifa, literal, little black clothed, skinny jeans, welfare head scum, basically, you have to understand, they're only the smokescreen for the real violent forces that are waiting behind the scenes. They're just the detonator and the cover for the globalist operations. And we know that from the George Soros documents we got in January of this year that we'll cover when we come back, where they were planning martial law in Maryland using Antifa with the police to trigger the black community. We'll be right back on the other side of this quick break. Infowars.com, newswars.com, tomorrow's news today.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for. That's Hillary Clinton, the sore loser, on CNN last night. Think about that. What is she saying? Well, she's projecting. They always do the inverse. Just like the creator of Minecraft has come out and said, look, liberals are now inherently the party of evil, twisted, lying scum that hate you, that hate humanity, that hate the normal biological order of the universe. Just as Trump has come out and said, because when you come to that realization that the radicalization process of the so-called left in the community colleges and in the mainline colleges has taken a bunch of people, told them they're oppressed, then trained them to go out and be the new brown shirt or Maoist foot soldiers to dominate and control society. So, with 27 days out from the election, we can survive things like Hurricane Michael that is going to be devastating and a serious problem, but part of life on this planet. We'll have coverage of that coming up at the bottom of the hour with the latest. But it's the political crisis and the cultural crisis and the spiritual crisis of the inherent nastiness and cultural and spiritual vandals that truly wish, because they don't have inherent power and they don't have God in their heart and soul, to pull down the universe and to seek and destroy everything that is decent. Those of us that don't want to be inherently evil and who aren't inherently out looking to destroy other people can't understand why globalists and their minions will go out of their way to do bad things when good things that they could do would actually build them and others up. But it's been part of a decadence process. The problem with a big, free, open society is it creates so much wealth that within a few generations, it always creates very nasty, very decadent, very spoiled elites, but also giant throngs of people that don't want to work and who ally themselves with the establishment as their muscle. It happened in ancient China, it happened in ancient Rome, it happened in ancient areas of the Middle Ages, throughout Western Europe. It's happened in Latin America. Look at Venezuela. It happens over and over again. It's called mob rule. And that's what we're going into right now. So again, front and center today, and if you're a TV viewer, you can see this incredible footage. If you're a radio listener, obviously you can hear the shocking audio, most of it bleeped. But we have footage from all over the country of people having their cars burned, people being physically attacked, Republican campaign headquarters having rape sprayed all over them. And the thread running through all this is they either call you a rapist or they call you KKK. So if Antifa randomly sets up a checkpoint in Washington, D.C., or in places like Portland, Oregon, if you don't let them direct you wherever they want while they yell and scream and cuss at you, they beat your car with metal batons, and they say, F you white scumbag, or they say, F you rapist. If you're white, they're authorized to be mean to you because that's the brainwashing. And whether it's in Baltimore, Maryland, or whether it's in Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, they all get training manuals funded by George Soros and Alexander Soros. And we got secret documents in January of this year that I've made a big deal of because they are the Rosetta Stone to understanding this. And it's 20 plus pages of an action manual for one of the managers. And the individual's brother, when he got in trouble, got the stuff out of his house, where they're paid handsomely in blue cities to work with the police in controlled areas to block roads, to break windows, to set things on fire, to even sometimes burn vehicles, which they pre-deploy as part of a drill that they burn. But here's the key. Yes, it's theater. Yes, it's fake with the Antifa, but they're there on the news during day one of whatever provocation there is, if the police shoot somebody, it's a questionable shooting or whatever the case may be, or the police beat somebody questionably or not questionably, then that draws out the Antifa who go into operation. They already have their manual. And then day two, or sometimes even that night, the general public sees it on the news. The news shows it as favorable, shows Antifa as favorable. The police stand down, and then the general public starts showing up. And in the Baltimore, Maryland documents, they say we're targeting the black community. We're trying to get the urban community to get angry and cause a chain reaction. So these are false flags, but they're trying to then trigger the general public to come out. And it talks about where you go, what streets you're allowed to attack, what trash cans you're allowed to burn. That's why it's like, why do they burn a trash can? Why do they attack this particular store? Why do they throw bottles at the police, but they're not really throwing them that hard? Because in the blue cities, the police have been ordered to stand down. And the captains and others are working with the Antifa and even having pre-planning meetings before. The model of this was 1999 in Seattle. And I made the film The Takeover that's still on YouTube on other folks' channels. Our channel's been removed. It's Police State 2, The Takeover. And we even got the training manuals. Delta Force, under the command of Bill Clinton. I'm not saying the military's bad, but they were under his command. Delta Force actually managed the Antifa, put them in a government building, house them, protect them, and then allow them to attack the police for a day so they could then turn the police and the federal police on the 50,000 peaceful demonstrators that were liberals and were against transferring power to the World Trade Organization because they saw it as globalist and corrupt. That was back when the left was against globalism and realized it was neoliberal colonial fascism, actually good leftists. And so that's how the whole thing started. Soros was even funding it then. So you use them as the group to get a riot going, and then you can bring your control in to clamp down on everybody after Antifa's carried it out, or under Obama's plans, they were planning to stir it up even worse, according to these documents, to try to create martial law in Baltimore and then other cities around the country, to have blacks rise up and to actually have a civil emergency, and then announce strong city initiative for the UN to come in under the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. This is in the mainstream news. And have the UN take over the police, and then they would order through Soros operatives and media for the blacks and others to stop rioting, who had been detonated by the white professor level Antifa. And these are mainly professors and people who are out doing agitprop type propaganda. I mean, there's manuals. The manuals have fallen into our hands. And I want to encourage other Antifa and people that realize this is wrong and evil and that you've been programmed to send us more manuals and more documents. But this is the main reason Soros and others have been coming after us. And when I pointed out that they staged the situation in Charlottesville, not that the woman didn't really get killed, not that the individuals who were working in the whole Hillary scheme actually killed the lady. I'm saying by them kicking that off, by them having Antifa there, by the cops corralling the white nationalists into them, it was meant to cause that explosion. And when we come back, I'm going to get to the biggest story yet that ties into all of this, and we're going to show the footage and break it down. Because if you read the Maryland documents, and then if you look at what happened in Charlottesville, and you look at what happened in Portland and other cities the last 3 days, they've now ordered Antifa, that is centrally commanded by these Rise Up groups and others that do the full-page ads in the New York Times and other publications calling for an overthrow of Trump and Pence and driving the regime from power. They're now more and more blocking traffic in morning rush hour and agitating the vehicles and bumping the vehicles and saying, oh, are you going to hit me? And then even when someone doesn't even bump them because they're bumping them, they then chase the vehicles down and try to panic them. And you almost saw another Charlottesville in Portland, because they're terrorizing and beating the car with batons, and the old man races away. And then he kind of realizes, wait, I don't want to be a hit and run if they just ran into me. So he stops and he's all dazed. And he's like, why are you doing this? They're like, F you. You know, you'll see the footage when we come back. I showed it yesterday, but it's so critical. It's so critical because they're trying to get another Charlottesville right now. And they've got orders going out to these thugs, these street thugs that are paid like $1,000 a day to do this. I'm Alex Jones. This is Critical Info. They're getting their false flag ready. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Infowars.com.
scientists at InfoWars Life have created a powerful formula for inflammatory support and joint support. Discover the power of ancient medicine with Bodies. Bodies contains one of the most potent forms of turmeric available. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years and is one of the most studied herbals today. It is well known in traditional medicine for its soothing properties. Our pure turmeric extract plus piperine from black pepper makes for optimal absorption to help boost and support your flexibility, mobility, joint function, immune system, and so much more. Regular turmeric root from the store only contains 1 to 5% of active ingredients, but our turmeric root extract contains over 95% of the active ingredients. Bodies combines turmeric with organic herbs such as spearmint, sage, lemon balm, and thyme to work synergistically for full body support. Try Bodies today at InfoWarsLife.com or call us at 188-253-3139.